Welcome back, Python warriors. Last time we installed Python and made it.
Welcome back. In the last session, we installed Python and wrote our first program. Today, we learn about variables, data types, and input-output, the foundation of every Python program.
Progress feels like leveling up in a video game. So, a variable is like a container, but don't imagine Tupperware, because these don't get stolen at family parties. Here, x holds 10, y holds 5.5, and name holds text. No type declaration needed. Just assign and go. C programmers be like, wait, that's legal? Python has built-in data types for everything: numbers, text, truth values, and fancy containers like lists, tuples, and dictionaries. Lists are like shopping carts. You can add, remove, change. Tuples are like your annoying exam marks. Once fixed, you can't change them. And dictionaries?
A variable is like a container that stores a
So
value.
let's talk to the computer. Input lets you type something in, but by default, Python thinks you're always giving it text. So if you type 25, Python thinks it's words. That's why we need int, float. If you forget, Python throws an error faster than your mom's spotting you gaming during exams.
Here, x stores 10, y stores 5.5, and name stores the text Saurav.
Here's a mini challenge. Take two numbers and print the sum. Go on, pause the video and try it. Don't worry if you break it.
In Python, you don't need to declare the type, just assign a value. In C, we write
Errors are Python's love language. It's just teaching you gently, sometimes with red text that looks scary.
int x is equal to 10. But in Python, it's simply x is equal to 10.
Quick recap. Variables store data, Python has different data types, and input output lets you talk to your program. Next time, we'll use all this to make actual decisions with if, elif, else. Your program's brain. Spoiler, it's way more loyal than your group project teammates. Before we end, let's face it, variables are like your room. You can stuff anything inside them: clothes, chips, random strings, even a dictionary. Just don't try putting your dog in one. Python might actually allow it. And here's my challenge: write a program that asks your name and favorite food, then prints, my name is X and I could eat Y all day. Trust me, nothing bonds with you Python faster than it helps you declare your love for pizza. Okay, so now we are basically writing a tuple. Let's see how that goes. It is basically like a sitcom though. So we have the dictionary. It's not that difficult actually, to be honest. Just like pizza. Now we print dictionary types. This can be like a cliffhanger, one line mic drop. I am curious to know actually, what do you guys think? How can we make this more fun? So here we just print the values of the list. You can see here 1, 2, 3 apple.
Python has many built-in data types. integers, float, strings, booleans, list, tuples, and dictionaries. Notice the type function. It tells us the type of the variable.
And trust me, you definitely want to know the type.
As you can see, there is a difference between mutable list versus immutable tuples. A list is mutable, which is my list here. What it means is we can change the values of the elements in the list. Whereas, as you can see in my underscore tuple, the tuple is immutable. So hence, we cannot change any of the elements' values.
Just like the three musketeers of Python. Don't worry, no swords involved. Unless you count the caps lock key. As I said, variables are like containers, but not boring ones. Imagine your fridge. X is equal to 10 apples, Y is equal to 5.5 liters of Pepsi, name is equal to Saurav, who's clearly the guy eating the apples and drinking the Pepsi. And unlike real fridges, Python variables don't get mysteriously emptied by your siblings. Python has data types for everyone. Numbers, math nerds rejoice. Strings, poets rejoice. Booleans, true slash false. Politicians panic. And then collections. Lists are like shopping bags. You can throw in anything breads, eggs, and even another bag. Tuples are like your birthday. Once set, you can't change it unless you lie. Dictionaries like your contacts list. But don't worry, Python won't ghost you.
So input takes input from the user as text. If you want numbers, you must convert them using int or float. Here, we entered a name and age, and then printed a sentence using print.
Input lets the user talk back to Python. By default, it thinks everything you type is text. So if you type 100, Python goes, oh nice, a poem. That's why we converted into it using int or float. Otherwise, you'll end up with errors that look scarier than your Wi-Fi bill. Try this yourself. Add two numbers. Easy, right? And if you fail, congratulations. You have unlocked Python's favorite feature, errors. Don't worry. Errors are like gym trainers. They shout at you, but they make you stronger. So today, variables is equal to containers.
Here, since the input was an integer, and we entered a string hello, hence we got this value error. Write a program that takes two numbers and as inputs and prints their sum.
Here's your mini challenge. Write a program that asks your name and favorite food, then prints, my name is X and I could eat Y forever. Warning, Python doesn't deliver food, so don't try typing biryani and expect your laptop to smell good. Variables are your sidekicks, data types are their powers, and input output is your superhero phone call. Basically, you're Batman and Python is Alfred. Now go save the coding world. Cliffhanger edition. Today, your code talked back to you. Next time, it'll start making decisions for you. Slowly, Python is becoming smarter and possibly plotting world domination. See you before the robots take over. Again, oops, Python is allergic to typos. See, Python doesn't judge lies, it just prints them. Call a variable pizza is equal to 99. Finally, infinite pizza. Dreams do come true. I think it's pretty interesting though, how Python is basically like an interpreter.
Pause the video and try this yourself. Pause the video and try this yourself. Don't worry about mistakes. Errors are your biggest teachers. Today, we learned variables, data types, and how to take input and show output. In the next video, we'll use these to make decisions with if, elif, and else.